So there we have it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. A little bit of a rushed one this evening. Tried to log in, and all of a sudden I'd been signed out of my Streamlabs. But we are here. I do have in the commentary box with me is my fellow commentator, Mr. Alan Patterson. Good evening to you, sir.
Dylan, how are you? Yes, thanks very much. It's Wednesday. Here we are, and we're coming to you from France. Everyone's sitting in the grandstands eating escargots and sipping on some champagne. But look at that, we've got a seriously wet track here today at Paul Ricard in France, and I think this is going to be a huge challenge for the drivers here today.
And most definitely I agree because, as you know, that from a weather point of view, is that we generally mix it up and allow it to be mixed conditions. And currently we're looking at a extremely wet setup. So going to be absolutely incredible. Our qualifying is got 10 minutes left. But if we look at who's currently leading, that's not the leading car, but it actually is Aiden Russell, who has put up the fastest time there. So his personal best from a lap is just gone read it, 2:05.2 by Aiden Russell. Marius Bortma currently in second place, so he's done a 2:06.5. Sean Lorero, he's just done a 2:07.9. 2:07.490. Marco Bezzadenote 2:07.495. So really that Lexus really doing its thing there. Jason Farmer, he did a 2:07.57, and I think that as the rain continues to fall here at Paul Ricard, the times are just going to get slower. Jean-Ray Bierkes, he's currently on a 2:10.1.
Yeah, big jump, as you can see, from fifth onwards. Jason Farmer in the 207s, and then from there further down, it's 209s and 210s. So the drivers are just coming to grips with the conditions out there. What'll be interesting to find out, and maybe we'll get to hear about this from our race winners later on, is are these guys running true hybrid setups, or are they running a full wet setup or a dry setup with wet tires, or a wet setup with dry tires, etc., etc. So it'll be good to hear what the strategies are from the winning teams later on after the race. But make no mistake, Dylan, this isn't damp. This isn't just not dry. This is a seriously wet track. There are good wet paddles, and the rain is falling sufficiently to keep it very wet. I doubt we'll see a very progressive racing line happen. I think it's going to stay very wet. But then again, the weather changes quite a lot in France, so we'll have to see what happens when the 75-minute race comes along.
And the beauty about the way it changes is that we do have a 3 times multiplier on our race and our time, which means that the weather progression is quite speedy. And we know things can happen as we see Jabulani Mazivandondo going a little bit too wide there into turn number 12. So whether that looks like, fortunately, that was his out lap. So still time for him to get a lap in there. Ruan Heineke looks like he's going to be starting his flying lap now. Lots of spray coming out of the back of that Ferrari. Etienne Mouton just dropped down into 6th place now. Tina Choubet, he's going to start his lap time, and I do believe there was 6th place there for him. It didn't give us that he was ready on that lap. So 6th there for him. Justin Lotus, our Arrive and Drive champion, has he been able to get into terms with what's happening here at France currently as he crosses the line to start his out lap? Indeed.
Yep. Yeah, just for those of you that have just joined, reminder, we're doing the one lap sprints as usual. So the guys are going out, and they get, guys and girls, excuse me, they get one go at this. So heaps of pressure. It's not like you can, put a banker in and then attack it and find out where you were slow and go quicker. It's a one lap out lap and then one fast lap, and you've got to do the business in that fast lap Whatever you get, that's where you're going to be on the grid.
So Jason Landsberg, he's going to cross the line, and that's going to put him into P1 with a 204.47. So he has taken away some of the time there from Aiden. It was a 205.2. So very, very quick, and you can see that that car really lit up. First sector was where he got all his time. But we're going to have some rapid fire now as the cars start crossing the line. We just see that's Charles Darden that just gone past. Flip Van Sale, he's going to go past now, but we should pick up Mohat Musa. Bad qualifying for him, a last race, so I'm sure he'll be hoping for a good lap as he starts his time of 223.2. Let's see how that's going to pan out at the rest of his lap.
Dylan, I want to just bring your attention to the times. If you have a look at the moment, we're down to 16th place at the moment, 17th in fact. I was saying there's a big gap from 5th onwards from 209s, and we're at 17th and we're at 210s. So we've got 17 cars pretty much on times from a 204 to a 2010.
Sure. So 6 seconds the gap there for this very, very wet condition track.
Very. And another thing that's another challenge to drivers. Sorry.
Justin Lotus just goes quickest with a 204.407 compared to Jason Landsberg's 204.470. So the right and same numbers as Jason's, just in different orders.
Exactly. The other thing to keep in mind, they have a pit stop strategy that they've got to work to tonight, today at least. Mandatory refueling, but not mandatory tire change. And they only had 3 sets of tires between, I think it's practice, quali, and the race. Is that correct?
Correct. So at least it allows them time to go out and do some practice. But just knowing that if they burn that set up, they are going to be in trouble with that set not being able to be used later. So Andrew Brogioni, 17th there for him. So I'm sure he'll be hoping for a much better race here, considering he was unfortunately clipped at turn 12 at the last race at Zandvoort, which really did not help him get up the order. Charles Darden, 15th place there for him. Chris Haneke currently on a lap. Mohat Musa, he's going to cross the line now. That puts him into pole. A 203.2, so 0.8 of a second quicker. And Chris Haneke, he puts him into 12th with a 206.6.
It's a mega time from Mohat Musa in the BMW. Like mega, almost a second quicker than second place in the field. So he's again, we're going to say what we've been saying the whole season. He's very comfortable in that M4. He knows exactly what that car's doing and what conditions, how to set it up in the various conditions. And it goes to show with his time. Only getting one shot at it, and he was almost an entire second quicker than the second place man. So Mohat Musa right on it at the moment. Just watching Christian Campos. He comes around the back end of the track and into the third sector. This is the very windy sector now, and you've got to have a great setup and a good understanding of what you've done in the car with your dampers, your suspension, and your tire pressures. They're fundamental here. I can't see on the moment what the temperatures are, but the track temperatures, the guys need to keep that into account, considering it is wet as well.
So just for your FYI, the ambient temperature 20 degrees, track temp 24 degrees. So as Donny heads towards the start-finish line, he will cross the line and puts him up into 9th place.
Nice.
We do have a car, I'll say stopped out on track, but it looks like Rahani is back. So Rahani actually joined us, Andrew Brogioni, on the side of track as well.
Yep, in the big Aston, he's doing some strange things. I'm not too sure what he's actually doing.
I think he realized perhaps he just needs to return to pits, and there we go. So that is the end of qualifying. And the way it's currently standing is Mohat Musa, the man, out on top by 0.08 of a second. Justin Lotus in a second place. Jason Landsberg, an almighty effort there for him. Third place there for him. He's put himself right between Aiden and Justin. Then Sanjan Pillay. That's not Sanjan Pillay's car, but it looks like he might have morphed inside that LTR car. Then Mafira, an absolute stonker there, 6th place for him in the
That's
AMG.
great. Yep, that's
Absolutely
awesome.
great lap there for him. Rob van der Heever, 7th place. Then Rainer Roberts in 8th. Maybe if I hit my little side-on view.
Where's your F7, buddy?
That's the view I was looking for. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Rainer Roberts in 8th. Then Donnie Steenkamp, 9th there for him. Ruan Haneke in 11th. Marius Botma, he's in 11th. Sorry, Ruan was in 12th. Oh yes, now we need to...
There's some rain in this session, so watch out.
There's rain in this session. Love it. Absolutely love it.
You masochist. I can hear it in your voice. You're so excited about this. Look at that sky. It's grey. Welcome to France.
No, but it looks like it's going to clear up there if we have a quick little look.
No chance.
Okay. So
Here we go. Moat Musa in pole in the BMW. Next to him, it's Justin Lotus for Alpha 1 Racing. Then we've got the Aston of Landsberg with Aiden Russell next to him in another BMW. 5th place, Sinjin Pillay for Alpha 1. And on the left, Nkulu. Then we've got Rob van der Heever on the right in the Ferrari. Next to him, it's Roberts in the other Ferrari. Donnie Steenkamp, another Ferrari, and Ruan Heineke in that rounds out your top 10. Marius Botma on the right-hand side in the first of the Porsches, with Tinus Buerta for the hybrid team in the McLaren. Then it's Chris Heineke in his Porsche, and next to him it's Mouton in the McLaren. Omari in the M4, and next to him it's the car of Sean Loureiro. Right behind them it's Bezuidenhout in the one and only Lexus, the V8 Lexus. Next to him it's Charles Darden in his Ferrari, and then Jason Farmer in 19th, and Matthew Wadley in another Alpha 1 Racing Ferrari. And then further back, the rest of the field, we've got an Aston here. There's the 6T BMW, and Bierkus in his Porsche, and a bunch of other cars going down the field.
What I'm surprised about is that is Andres Rodeo right at the back,
Right
as well
at the
as
back.
Isham Domingo. So something definitely happened there.
That looks like a challenge to do a back to front challenge for the Vapor Boys. But Moat Musa said, no, that's not cool, so I'm going to go from the front.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'd say almost said the 40 strong, but the 32 strong grid roll
Awesome.
up. And once this rain slows down, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be an absolute epic race. The amount of cars that are on the track are definitely going to allow it to dry up very, very quickly.
Green light.
There's chaos at the back of that field, and there we go. We got green lights. We're heading down to T1. Oh, there's big contact already.
That's Jason and
I don't know who, but there's the contact. Jason Landsberg and is it Chris Heineke? Oh, and there's Bierkus's Porsches around, and then a bunch of Ferraris as well have gone around. So huge contact in the straight in these conditions. The guys are suffering in the opening sections.
So it was Aiden Russell that he was in the other BMW.
Right.
So that's where that contact had happened. So I'm sure that our stewards will review that in the post-race.
Charles Darden far too hot into the finals, the bottom end sharp right-handers. And the BMW's round. And he's collected somebody as they come wide onto the Mistral Straight. Wow. There is just chaos in the Mistral Straight. Look at this. Oh my word. There's just nothing stopping them. There are yellow flags being shown, but the guys are just flying into the cars sideways across the track. This Mercedes Nkulu has to wait. Right, the field's almost gone, but Muad Musa up at the end of the Mistral Straight, all on his own, holding onto the BMW and taking the fast, long right hand, and here comes the whole field behind him.
So it did look like that turn number 8 has not been kind to some of the drivers. The guys going very, very wide, and thinking that there should just be a little bit of a light rain. This definitely is looking extremely torrential. Yeah. And a lot of cars being collected and taken out and being caught unawares.
Very much so, yeah. It was actually the beginning of the Mistral Straight, so people were all gaining momentum coming out of the sharp first sector, and they weren't aware of the cars across the main straight, at least across the back straight. So there's been quite a bit of damage there, and I suspect we'll see a couple of cars come into the pits to do an urgent pit stop, not because of their strat, but purely to repair a lot of damage that has happened on the first lap.
And Muad Musa is absolutely pulling away. 5.5 seconds is the gap that he's already created. Donnie Steenkamp, he seems to be the biggest winner so far. He's all the way up into 6th place, having started somewhere down 8th, I believe. So he's in 2nd, Sanjan Pillay in 3rd, followed by the man in shot, Ruan Haneke, in 4th position.
Got a yellow flag and an exclamation for Matthew Wadley, although that's cleared now, so I think he was having a problem, but he has got it sorted, and here he comes kind of midfield, 11th place at the moment, but that Ferrari looking a little bit worse for wear and carrying some battle scars from earlier lap 1 contact. As they go through the last, at least the first sector, very technical section this, and very important part of carrying as much momentum as we see Chris Haneke going super sideways and missing the track markers completely. Comes back on track, and you can see that Porsche is it's skating down the right hand side of the Mistral Straight, hitting the puddles, and Chris is struggling to control the car.
So the question I have is that have there been guys that have tried to take a gamble and put on the slicks, or do you think everybody would have gone and put the wets on? Because it could really be more. Maybe it's just a little bit of a little splash, but you can see
that Porsche is loose, man. You might have a point here, Dylan. He might be risking this on a set of slicks in the hope that this is not a long downpour and it's going to dissipate in, let's say 15 to 20 minutes, and then he'll be in the pound seats with a set of slicks on the car. But Chris is seriously struggling. I mean, he's doing well to be where he is, but the car looks so unsettled.
I see there is quite a bit of action further down the field. I'm nearly getting a little bit of the red Ferrari. But closing up, we're behind Stephen Smith, currently 0.4. And it looks like Stephen has unfortunately collected somebody there himself. But currently in 15th place. But you can see that the net gain that he's made up 11 places from where he started. So he too moving up the order.
Yeah, he's done very well at the start. Hey, to a couple of people on the YouTube channels, ADB and Brandon DeSantis is there. He was also saying that was a tough start to the race, and definitely, man. But guys are settling in. You can see that Ferrari. Oh, there's a car out.
It's Charles Darden.
It's Charles Darden again in his Ferrari. So Charles having an absolute mare here in France. Struggling with the poor conditions in the Ferrari, but gets it going, and no harm, no foul at the moment. Right behind him, we jump to Marco Bezuidenhout in the Lexus. He was involved in that incident, I think, on the main straight, but he seems to be up and going in 7th place and all.
And this is what I wanted to check. The reason I jumped on Marco is I just wanted to see how this Lexus fares on the straight line, but you can see closing up on that BMW at a dramatic rate.
Yeah.
And it looks like that BMW on the outside. It's almost as, I mean, the BMW was actually a little bit slow. So Andres Rodio, Marco, big drift into turn 8. You'll have to just be careful as he rejoins, but safe there. Slots in between Chris Haneke and Andres Rodio.
Jeez, he was almost in Belgium. He was so wide coming off the back of the Mistral Straight there. Huge pace coming out of the Lexus, but it's all very well to go fast in a straight line. You've got to negotiate that long right-hander, and he was nowhere near being in the limits. And possibly drivers already. I don't think anyone's going to be carrying track cuts, but you never know with Paul Ricard. Even though you're not going at pace, as we see, here comes Chris Heineke again in the Porsche.
That's Marius Botma.
I beg your pardon. It is.
Yep.
It's Marius Botma doing a full send up the inside of Pino's BMW, the 60 BMW, and that position changes.
So currently, Ati Pino is driving teammate-less. Unfortunately, his teammate Leon. Whoa, big send there. And the cars behind just able to get that car, their car stopped and not collecting Ati. Saying that Leon having absolute nightmares in terms of his internet. So is not racing here this evening. And those puddles on the outside of the track are absolutely crazy.
They are. You don't. You hit them and you just bounce off them. You're aquaplaning down the straight. So the guys are having some problems. That was Charles Darden, who arrived on the back of the 60 BMW again and had another little bit of contact. But luckily enough, that Porsche wasn't turned around, so everything rosy for now. We see a train of cars coming through the first sector. That's 5, 6, and 7 onto the Mistral Straight. Side by side, it's the Aston Martin having a drag here with one of the Alpha 1 Ferraris.
And that Aston is pulling away from that Ferrari. So it looks like Jason or has lost that top end. And Jason would be in the easier, dare I say, drier line, racing line, as Waitley is able to just slot back in front of him, where it looks like the Aston was going to be pulling away down the straight.
He comes and has another look as they feed off turn 8 into turn 9. The Lexus, oh my word! Oh my gosh. I was just, okay, thinks better of that, does a 3-point turn, gets it back in the right direction, and onwards he goes. So that is at the back end of turn 9, off the back end of...
It didn't look like it because we didn't get a contact warning. But what it did show is how quickly that can go very, very wrong. But Marco very wisely putting it into reverse and carrying on with his race there.
I was about to say that we're driving that Mercedes-Benz, just saw his life flash in front of his eyes for a few seconds, and then it managed to the Lexus stopped. Otherwise, that was a flat T-bone coming through there. Just watched it on the replay. Muad Musa, he's in another year as far as this race goes. Up the road by, what is that, 20-something seconds?
28 seconds between... Oh, wait, there we go. It's just clicked back. Between,
I didn't update.
11 seconds. 11 seconds between himself and Donnie.
This, just a little bit of history. The Paul Ricard circuit, which originally started way back when, 1970 when it was designed and built, and has gone through a couple of iterations, lately also hosting a couple of the F1 tracks. But the Mistral Straight, this legendary straight that we talk about, is an entire 1.8 kilometers long from beginning to end.
Sure.
So 1.1 miles, 1.8 kilometers, depending on what side of the pond you're on. That is a long straight with your foot flat on the loud pedal.
And what that tells us, you got to get that gearing just right.
Yes, indeed.
So I was about to say, hey!
Oh my word, down the main straight, Charles Darden is sideways on the fastest part of the track, going across the racing line. Do you have a replay of that by any chance?
I'm trying to grab him. Let's see if we can...
What happened there?
Go
back 30.
Oh! It looked like you just aquaplaned. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot.
Oh, he's been collected again.
Charles is definitely
with tennis Buerta
not having a good time. Well, this one we can definitely go back and have a look. Oof. Yeah, that car has got a lot of damage this evening, and well, I'll say fortunately he is just about at the pit stop, so he can get
Yep.
himself in there and hopefully get that car repaired. But man, oh man, what a crazy incident!
I have never seen that before, Paul Ricard, over the main straight like that. At least over the back straight with the car aquaplaning that bad. Goes to show this is quite a torrential little downpour. I don't know if the track is still listed as wet or if it has in fact progressed to flooded. I don't think so. I think this is just wet because there is a subtle racing line that we can see developing.
So I am just wanting to look at some of the drivers that have pitted.
Yeah.
So far, Johan VDV is one of those that has pitted, but I am able to do this, so we're able to get a view. Okay, but it's showing on my screen that there's pits, but it's not coming through on my little telemetry board, so that's
No problem.
not going to help.
It's all good. Let's we'll feel our way along, and you just keep us updated based on what you can see. But
David Farrell, something's gone a little bit wrong there. So let's see if we can jump back and grab that. Oh. Onto the curb. So that's all worked out well, and then gone too deep into the last corner. Oh, so was that? Oh, that was the replay, which just showed that he had the yellow flag. Yeah. Whoa! But Jabulani getting
Matsi Vadondo,
very close there.
He was getting very punchy. I mean, that was, I'm going to go and take that. Yep. Rano Roberts going up the Mistral Straight, and he's having a flat stick dice here. Who is that? Is that Etienne Mouton?
So that's
yes.
Etienne, but then look
and
right
behind him
is Bezada Notes, who's looking to have another go. Is he going to go through the middle? That can't work. No, Etienne.
He moved across the Ferrari. He thought he was clear, and he literally just drove into the Ferrari. He was still on his left.
And Marco on the inside. Oh, yep. Marco has really hooked it up well. We saw him losing at the last lap. But now Marco has now moved himself up into 9th place. It looks like this Lexus is really serving him well.
It is. I've heard this. I've heard it's a very solid and reliable car, similar to the Aston in the wet. So I think he's just got to get his nerves sorted and come to grips with the condition. But doing well in the Lexus, definitely.
So I'm also a little bit confused as to what is happening, because Sean Marrero is showing that he is leading this race.
Yes.
With Mohad Musa behind him by 25 seconds.
No, I don't know about that. Let's wait to see what your timing screen.
Unless he's pitted.
Is he pitted?
It hasn't shown
there
as
it goes.
a pit. So
Mohad Musa, yep, back to top.
I think what's happening is that there's just so much craziness going on at this point that the game itself doesn't know what is going on. So Matthew Wadley having a little look on the inside of Jean-Ray into turn number 1. Will Jean-Ray leave the space? Just closes that door in time. Jean-Ray currently in 14th place, and Matthew Wadley currently 15th, up 5 from where he started. So he's definitely starting to progress up the order here.
We have Antonia Gamble on the Facebook channel. Have a great race, guys, and shouting for Jason Farmer. So some good support from the support mechanisms for the drivers here this evening. Antonio shouting hard for Jason Farmer. And where is Jason Farmer
That's
right
exactly
now?
what I went to go and look. So down 9 places, so not having a good one here this evening.
No, I think he was involved in the first lap shenanigans, so he's just trying to get himself around and go try and make up places as he gets along.
So Jason has recorded to have had 2 pit stops.
Okay, there we go. So thanks for sharing that. I do believe he probably did a huge damage repair, because there were some obscene things happening on the first couple of laps. We currently have 2 incidents at the moment with Smith and Charles Darden again. I mean, is that even possible? It is. Charles Darden's out in the Ferrari and all over the place again. Smith in the red Ferrari, he's just behind him trying to get around the 3rd sector, and Charles Darden ahead of him in the orange coloured Ferrari.
That looked like Stephen was using the karting line there, going very,
Yes.
very wide. And I see that this little, I was going to say, battle between Matthew and Wadley was carrying on, but Matthew did manage to get ahead of Jean-Ray.
So past stunt, there we go. Right, 57 minutes and counting. This is a 75-minute long race, so the guys have been going for just over 20 minutes. Remember, there is 1 compulsory pit stop, but I think we've seen, or we've heard from your side, a lot of drivers have already done pits purely for the fact of repairing damage. But I don't think there is any car on the grid here that can run this in one stop. So there will be a normal into the pits at halfway through the race for them to do a refueling, I'm sure, or we might have some alternate strategies where they might be running a bit long and do a splash and dash near the end.
So I wanted to just bring this to your attention, is
Yes,
if
sir.
we look at the current screen, that is Andres Rodeo. Remember, right at the end of our little grid walk,
He was
Andres
6
Rodeo
from the back.
near the back, and here
Yep.
he is currently
In
in third
third.
place, having not pitted, chasing down Sanjan Pillay.
Yeah. This just goes to show, if you don't get involved in other people's dramas and accidents, as him and Sinjin are squeezing each other, trying to take this second place position. But
So Andre just trying to slot it up on the inside at turn number 11. And
he's almost got that right.
is he going to be able to just be patient and set up the overtake down the straight?
Well, that car is also uninjured. There's no damage or any scruff marks or anything. So he's going to be he's going to have the best vehicle, underneath him as he goes through this race. But then so has Sunja Pillay, who's just ahead of him. And I think most of the guys in this position, your top 6, 7, 8 guys, are probably all still good. As he goes up the inside, coming into the first set of chicanes, and then the sharp double right-hander, falls back in line behind Sinjin Pillay's Alpha 1 Racing Ferrari. Now wants to get a good drive here as they come through this fast right and then left onto the Mistral. The BMW, we know, does have a lot of pace. Slides it through there, and here we go. 1.8 kilometers. We'll see if he can haul in on the back of that Ferrari of Sinjin.
This track is wet. Holy cow.
Wet.
And you can just
see
hear, as he's driving, you can just hear the different change in the tone of the water on that car. And I'm surprised that that Andre wasn't really able to close much down on the Ferrari ahead of him down that straight.
No, I agree. Sinjin obviously, or probably running a relatively slippery setup on the Ferrari. But yeah, the BMW didn't make any inroads. We had a fast gander at the bob settings just before we started, and the McLaren had a lot of weight removed, but I think the BMW had some weight added to it, wasn't it?
So I can tell you exactly what those BOP settings are.
I think it was 12 kilos, if memory serves me correctly. If you can just confirm that, but that'll obviously be what the issue here is. The BMW has been nerfed a little bit just to rein it in, and we're seeing this close racing right now with Sinjin hanging on to this position in second place. 10 laps are done, but Andres Serradio is certainly looking and trying to get into Sinjin's head.
So the BMW's only got -1 versus the
Okay.
Ferrari, and that has a +2, so just about like for like there. The biggest winners are definitely the Honda, the Bentley GT Continental, and the Porsche
Okay.
992, which we're not really seeing make too much inroads here.
Well, Chris is not far back. He's in 5th place in his Porsche.
And as I say that, I saw Chris Heineke's name, and I'm like, well, let's go find out where he is. And he is currently circulating in 5th.
Yeah, he's doing good and enjoying the flat 6 motor there. Also looking a little bit further back, 3 cars back behind him. It's the ever-present Marco Bezuidenhout in the Lexus in 8th place. So a couple of other manufacturers all around here. Jason Landsberg in the big throbbing Aston Martin going up the Mistral Straight. Love the sound of that V8 motor.
Yeah, me too. And I thought that it would be a nice view, but Jason not seeing that his wipers are on. So we'll just jump back. And you can see Chris Heineke, Ruan Heineke, Jason Landsberg, and then in the background, Marco Bezuidenhout.
Dylan, I wonder what the inter-family politics are like in the Heineke family with Chris and Rowan racing. There must be a good little bit of elbows out, kind of. I'm quicker than you on a weekly basis at the Briars in Joburg up there.
Yes. we'll just say diplomatic, and the one saying that I'm faster, the other one saying yeah, but I'm faster. But,
yeah.
But it's all for good fun. And David Farrell has just flown past Flip Van Sale there. So it looks like Flip's struggling a little bit there in his McLaren. But
what?
I say that, and Flip is up 7th place from where he started. We just got a message there from Toki saying that he got disconnected. It looked like that Aston was wide.
Was. RDB also saying, yep, getting very exciting. The rain definitely shakes up the grid order. Agreed. We've always said that, Adi, and you get the absolute aliens who are complete boffins with the aero and the car and the grip in dry. But then you can get complete midfield runners and even backfield runners in wet conditions that'll come to the fore because it really levels the playing field out.
And what I'm really enjoying seeing is how Jason is really throwing around this Aston.
Yes.
And it seems to be so much more stable than the Ferraris ahead of him.
Yeah.
And that of the Porsche, actually. So it looks like this is going to be a straight line dash. And what is going on there?
It's
Stay
wet
away.
on the right. Yeah.
It's so wet there.
Yeah. Chris is coming across now to defend, but it's like I said, it's like the Lexus. The front engine cars are very, very stable in the wet conditions. So the Aston's loving this. I think the big Mercedes is also having fun further back down the field wherever he is. And then as they make their way around the right hand, they're all doing it within the limits now. So they're all making the corner safe and sound. The guys are getting to grips. I think the tires are on par. Everyone's got the right temperatures going, and there is a little racing line. You can clearly see it when you watch with this camera view, but guys are certainly racy and giving it their all here.
It looks very different when you look at the track this way.
Very. Yeah, complete different kettle of fish.
I see Dirkie Kellerman saying the racing looks so good, missed us so much. Dirkie, one of our long-time SARCO members through the console.
Right.
And just not able to get him racing just yet. But Dirkie, we always look for ways to get you racing. Frankie just closing the door there on David Farrell, saying, not going to get through there. Just ahead of him, Stephen Smith, a little bit sideways there in his Ferrari, coming out of turn number 9.
Look at David Farrell looking around the outside for Alpha One Racing in the Ferrari and staying there all the way around the outside of that corner.
But there's not going to be much space there unless Frankie sees him coming.
There's a big puddle here. Oh, and look at that contact. They both connect each other, so not watching their radars too much. David Farrell does a nice 360, drops it to second and carries on going as if nothing happened.
As if nothing happens, and I suppose he only lost 2 places.
Oh my word! Car coming into the pits, and I think that hid the scene a little bit there. But wow, didn't.
Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. So, sure, but it looked like he had slowed down because that Ferrari is ahead of Frankie.
Frankie was
No, I
probably
mean,
wondering what is going on here.
Frankie slowed down. Oh, no, there he is there. So,
Yeah.
that was one of those. And Justin just slots it up. On the inside, goes a little bit too deep there. I wonder if that's going to be a track cut. But sure, these guys and conditions really not optimal.
No,
Donnie
but it's good.
has dropped down the order. He was right up there fighting for third and fourth, and he's now down to eighth. So wonder whether he's made a mistake and dropped down. But whoa, look at this.
Was there pit stop involved?
No pit stop recorded. The only
For
person
Donnie,
that I've
okay.
got that has stopped is Sham Domingo. So we'll definitely keep our eye on him to see what happens there. But look at this. Marco Zadano currently in 6th place.
Here comes the Lexus.
Having a
On
look
the main straight.
on the inside at the main straight.
Oh, don't move over. Why do people do that? You haven't cleared the pass. Why? I don't understand that. But a lot of people are doing this. You cannot move back across. You're in the braking point. You keep your racing line and negotiate the corner. He was very lucky to get away with that.
Because that would have been Marco being spun out by driving in front of Ruan.
Correct.
But a little flash of the warning there. But they're back to racing.
I mean, where exactly is Ruan supposed to go? He's still next to Marco's Lexus. So you certainly can't move across and expect a car just to not be there all of a sudden.
So this is going to be an interesting little battle down the straight. Because we saw all the guys going to the left. Because I see Chris is behind Jason. Chris got a great drive out of that corner.
He's going to fly past that. He's gone past that Aston Martin. He's on his way. Chris got a huge drive. No, you're right. I saw that out the corner of my eye, but I didn't think it was that massive. The Aston must have got a huge slide on. That's why it's fallen back so far there. Because the Ferrari is up and on the back of the Ferrari. I mean, Chris's Porsche is on the back of the Ferrari.
So the person who hasn't had much talk time is the man now currently in shot. Mohamed Musa. Look at that. 18 seconds is the gap between himself and Andres Rodeo. Started way down the order, currently in second place. And Sanjan Pillay up 2 places from 5th into 3rd. And he's just done his fastest lap at 2:03.6. So it does look like the conditions are getting better. The rain's slowing down. The track's drying up.
Good Ferrari coming out the pits there. I'm not sure who it was though.
So Marius Botma on the outside, so he will have the outside line, managing, I was going to say, to get ahead of Renault.
Look again. Wow.
So has Morris been able to hang on to that? He has. Renault Roberts is trying to come back, but now they're at least a car's length away, and Morris is now technically away.
Other Ferraris also just come out the pits behind the Lexus. So guys are completing pit stops. We're at 44 minutes of the 75-minute race. So near as much at the halfway point. And a lot of people who would have started this race on a 50 tank going in and filling up or taking on a little bit extra fuel now and doing any repairs that they need to for the last stretch to the home. As I said at the when we were on the grid, I didn't think this was going to clear up, and I still don't think it is. I think we're going to be raining the whole race here, but it's producing some awesome racing and a lot of changes on the positions, Dylan.
Yeah, those positions have been changing just about every sector. So a nice little battle still between Renault and Morris. Renault trying to close down the back of the Porsche as they go into turn number 9. And Morris is wide, which is just going to allow Renault to take that position back up on the inside. And Renault now back up into 8th place. I have seen there has been a change of position. Yeah, that looked a lot closer than it was. And that's Matthew Wadley moving himself ahead of Etienne. So Matthew now up 9 places from where he started in 20th place, now in 11th.
Almost into the top 10. So Matthew Wadley having an exceptional race here for the Alpha 1 Esports team. Etienne Mouton just behind him in the one of the McLarens. And that Ferrari looks a lot more stable and settled as they came through the final sector, through the windy sections. Marius Botner, here he is again in the Porsche as we follow him, chasing Renault Roberts in the Alpha 1 Esports Ferrari. But that gap now looks like it's growing.
Yeah.
But you make a small mistake here, and all of that time gained is out the window.
And it's also like because you're going in a little bit too hard. So what happens is that you brake,
Yes.
but now you're braking for longer than you're expecting. You then got to tighten that line. You can't get on the throttle. So that compound of that mistake is just amplified because it's wet, because you're slower. It's definitely a lot more tricky to navigate.
He got a good drive through the technical section onto the Mistral Straight. So let's see how he hangs in with the slipstream. And definitely up the left side of the Mistral Straight is the quicker line. The racing lines develop there, and there are massive puddles on the right. You only go to the right if you need to cool tires down. So anybody, our theory about Chris being on slicks, I don't think so. I think he is on wets. But I don't think anyone's running slicks and or anyone running wets and possibly needing to cool them down, because I don't see people moving off the racing line unnecessarily.
I have to agree with you there. I don't think it would have been slicks. It might have just been that period where Chris was trying to get those tires in, where that car was looking very, very loose, very, very sideways. But he does seem to have his Porsche under control now. And what we're looking at is the battle for second and third place now between Andres Sorodio in second and Sanjan Pillay in third in the Alpha 1 Esports Ferrari.
Yeah, these guys pretty much a second apart. They've just, I think they put a lap on one of the Ferraris behind him, but 15 and a half seconds back here is Chris Heineke in fourth, and then Ruan Heineke and the rest of the field further back. But the dice for second place on the podium, so this is important, and for very important points as well. Andres Sorodio doing a superb job getting himself from, thumbsuck about a 27th or 26th position starting. Kind of 5 or 6 cars from the back of the grid on the starting grid, all the way up into second place behind his teammate Muat Musa. And Sunjan Pillay is right there as we see Matthew Wadley bring the Alpha 1 Esports Ferrari into the pits here at Paul Ricard for his pit stop. Marco Bezuidenhout in the V8 Lexus doing very well and looking very comfortable in this car, as we've already said. Similarly with the Aston Martins, but he seems very comfortable in the Lexus, and it's great to see it back on the track. We haven't seen, there's been a void of Lexus for, I don't know, the best part of a year and a half, but with the latest box settings, it's good to see it back on the track and competing.
And I think on this track, it definitely is a good one to have.
Yes.
And we can just see how, dare I say, it chowed the other cars down the straight.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of horsepower. We're watching the Aston now follow in the footsteps of the McLaren going up the straight. Jason Landsberg chasing Etienne Mouton, and he's going to move out here into the right-hand lane as they come up to the end of the Mistral Straight. Does he have enough pace to move across?
No.
He doesn't. Side by side, here we go. Oh, he did make it.
Slots up on the inside there. That is phenomenal.
I'd say that McLaren lifted for safety.
Yeah. Well, I think with Etienne being on the outside, he knew that he might be able to try the cut back here through turn number 9, but just definitely came off at turn number 8 and allowed Jason to go through. Not to give him the place, but to possibly fight him again as Etienne gets that rear very, very loose.
Anybody listening to us or watching us as we see the 6T BMW going up the straight with the one of the Alpha 1 Ferraris. As soon as you hear tones going to speed 45 or speed 78, you know there's drama happening on the tracks.
And for some reason, I always go high-pitched. I don't know how that
That's what I'm
happens.
saying. The voice is going to faster speeds. It sounds like a pair of chipmunks because somebody's having a crash. I've done it for like 3 years in the commentary I've been doing, and I don't understand why. But it's close proximity. It's exciting, and there's drama happening, and so we kind of squeeze our vocal cords, and there we go. Oh, here we go. Isham Domingo, who was also down at the back, I'd say 29th or 30th, somewhere around there, up to 13th place, and following.
He was the last car on the
he
right,
was.
on the left-hand side,
Okay, so you said there were 32 in the entry list.
which means that he was 32. I can tell you something that's quite interesting, is
Go.
that he is the highest placed cars that has pitted.
So he's net first. That's what we're saying. He's pitted and is ahead of all the other cars that have pitted.
That is correct.
All right, let's see what happens. So we've still got the leaders and his team, Muat, Andres Aradio, all of those guys, first, second, and as we say that,
Andre calls us a
He's
liar, and
He does.
He goes in. But
Right.
now there's still 37 minutes left of this race.
no, that's okay.
Is the rain going to slow down? Is it going to dry up? And this is that I don't know the outcome of what this rain is going to do, because this is the first time I've seen wet practice, wet qualifying, wet race.
Was that a drive-through?
He didn't stop.
I didn't see him stop.
He didn't stop. That was a drive-through. That was 30.2 seconds drive-through. No stationary stop.
It was a DT. So that he could have only been issued, because I didn't see it pop up on your tower, but that's obviously for track limits then, not for speeding in the pit lane. But I didn't see him stop. So I think the track limits are becoming an issue for a lot of the drivers, and that looked like it was a flat drive-through.
I can tell you the other person, because now he's got the same as Andres Rodeo, so that's a 30.2 no stop, is the man in screen, David Farrell. So he's had a drive-through, as well as this man now in 9th place, because remember he was circulated up in that 6th, is that he's had a drive-through as well.
Okay. So there's a lot of drama that we are not seeing, but we're understanding better. And it's affecting the positions for sure. So now we have Moed Musa still out in the lead, but then we've got days apart with Sunja Pillay 26 seconds back in 2nd place, and that's allowed Chris Heineken now to pop up into 3rd with the drive-through coming from Andres Arodio.
And now Donnie Steenkamp right behind Andres Rodeo. Donnie can really take the race to him, and then poor dare I say, poor Ruan Heineke ahead in 4th place has now got Donnie and Andre. Okay, so Ruan had Donnie and Andre. Andre has now gone ahead of him.
Yes, got it. I think we must have a look at your software and see if you can enable the DT logo thingy, so we don't miss those in future races.
Unfortunately, that is one of the things that the software does not allow.
Okay.
But it has been questioned. But
good.
Let me just put something into perspective for you, because there's Andres Rodeo. So it's Andres Rodeo, Ruan Heineke, Donnie Steenkamp.
No. Andre's just gone ahead of Ruan. What is going on? Sunjan's in the pits. Is Sunjan in the pits?
Sunjan is just done a drive-through.
He's not. He just did a drive-through.
He has done a drive-through. That's a 30.50 stop. So what I wanted to say is that from Andres Rodeo, who's currently in 3rd, is 1.8 seconds to Ruan. Then it's 0.7, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second to 8th place. So what you're seeing, these are 8th place positions. These are fighting for position.
For 3rd place. Yep.
This is 3rd place. All of those cars are 3rd place.
All the way down to Tennis Boerte in 8th. Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
No, sorry.
To Marius Bortman. Yes.
Super close now all of a sudden. Musa's in a different race. I mean, he's in a different league here. He just got away with it on lap 1 because everyone else got involved.
Mohat Musa's fastest lap is a 2:02.6.
Okay, next quickest?
Oh, sorry, it's Andres Sorodo who's just put in the fastest lap time now, a 2:02.4.
Wow.
So
The Venom boys are on it. I mean, the Vapor boys.
But that little drive-through by Andres Sorodo has definitely not helped his cause, because that has allowed this man in shot, Chris Heineke, to move himself up into second place.
Yeah, but we also saw the Porsche all over the place. So I'm not going to say that Chris isn't carrying a handful of track cuts as well.
Yo, anything can happen.
Anything. I'm with you.
David Farrell is now doing his legit stop.
Legit. I was just going to say, it's a legit. The car's static. There's stuff happening to it.
Another person, Justin Lotus, his last drive to the pits was a track cut at a 30.4. He's done 3 stops. So talk about this race mixing proverbial coconuts up. This is what's happened. This race has thrown everything upside down.
How happy are you about this, if I may ask?
Extremely, but I can't be happy because the drivers are going to take it out of me. It's like, you planned this.
And you did. You're an absolute masochist, but you were laughing about the conditions when we saw it. Now the guys are feeling the pain. 3 pit stops and they're only halfway through the race.
Just look at that. There we go. So
there we go.
So that was second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth.
7th, 8th. Great stuff. There's no way these conditions are stopping. There's no way this rain is stopping.
So the thing is that they still need to do their legitimate pit stop.
Yeah.
Second to 8th are still in the same shot.
Who here hasn't? Who's the first leading pit stop? Legitimate pit stop driver. Renault Roberts.
Is Sean Domingo currently in 11th place?
11th. Okay. So that's what we need to watch.
So from him to Marius, there's 18 seconds, 19 seconds. So make that 30. There's 50 seconds separating Isham Domingo to Marius, who's currently in 8th, still in the fight for second place. Okay? And here's the crazy thing, is that it is a
1 minute 2, I think.
It's a 32-second drive, but then a splash and dash is 6 seconds. So you're in for a 38 to a 40-second stop. There's 10 seconds between Isham Domingo, technically, and Chris Heineke in second place.
Yeah. That's if they don't change tires. You're going with an absolute bare minimum. No damage repair, just a splash and dash.
Splash and dash, 100%.
A realistic stop here with tires. Oh, we got contact somewhere. Realistic stop with the tire change and all the rest is a minute, and that's basically the gap that.
Was that contact of the two of them into the pits? Yes, it was. Yo. Yeah, it was kind of like it showed that there was some sort of contact there.
Agreed. Okay. We shall see what we shall see. Isham all over the Chris Heineke Hexus Porsche. And up he goes up the left-hand side of the track. Chris running the right line. Very, very risky line, but I suppose he's keeping the tires in the best condition he can.
So that means Andre is riding the right line, Chris is riding the wrong line.
But Chris is staying next to him, so watch this. Chris has got the inside line for this big right-hander, and there they go.
Oh, slots it in, but
undercut.
A little cut back there from Andre Sorodio.
Mega.
Do you think that he did a 30-second drive-through penalty, and here he finds himself back in second place?
In second place. That just goes to show how far out ahead he was. But it's not over. We've just gone under 30 minutes, so 28 minutes and counting, and now we will see from this point going forward the top 8, top 9 people have to come in and do proper pits. They've got to do a refuel, either splash or dash, or they're going to hold it right to the end and just literally do a 10 litre splash and dash, go in and out kind of thing. So let's see what happens here, but we're watching. possibly our net leader being Isham Domingo right now.
Who's okay behind Mohat, because Mohat is away,
Yes.
but he's quite close to coming out in second place, there and thereabouts with Chris. But now, interestingly enough, we've got Rainer Roberts in 10th place, who's now slotted in behind Isham Domingo, having done a pit. So Morris Bortman now, he's gone into the pits. Sanjan Pillay, 5th place, closing up onto the back of Ruan Heineke, is currently in 4th. So Ruan had a little bit of a quiet period. In 4th place is now... Style points there for Chris Heineke.
I think he was...
That is well worth going back and checking this out. Please give it from the back angle. There we go. Net. Yeah, Chris will definitely give you 10 points for style.
That's it. That's definitely not a go again. You through. And you can see all the time he's trying to control and hold the back of that Porsche in line. So we know the Porsche is very tail happy at the best of times, but I think this is a little bit of over exaggeration happening here. Or he's running it on a super low TC and just enjoying himself.
Yeah, but enjoying yourself to that extent for the next 26 minutes, I think.
Risky.
Might be risky, exactly. So Marco Zadano, 13th there for him after he has stopped officially. 40.6 and an 18 stationary. So doesn't look like he took tires, he just put some fuel. But I am seeing some 37s, 36s for the stops. So
pits.
And this is a dual pit, so Sanjan in as well as Andres Herodio.
Yes, here we go. This is big. Sorry about that interruption, sir, but we've also got further down Omari and Jabe in the pits as well. So people are in. Here we go. We're halfway through the race, and there's a bunch of cars coming into the pits, but let's see what happens now in comparison. We're looking for Isham, and here he is. He's through. He's got 2 corners to go. He's heading now towards turn 12 and 13. Last 2 corners to negotiate, and I think I saw the first pit stop actually rolling already.
Yeah.
So Radio, he's out. So he's a whole straight. Sure. There we go. It's the entire main straight, not the Mistral, but he's at least 10, 15 seconds up the road.
Whoa!
And Sunjan's out as well.
So I got very, very close to the screen, then all of a sudden we had the car 34 go flying past, and it gave me a pretty decent little fright there.
It's Fleming. Etienne.
No, car number...
Sunjan Pillay. Yeah,
so
he's
Sanjan
ahead.
went ahead of... Is that Wadley?
I can't see until the camera zooms in on the car.
Can't find that number.
Is it?
No, there's Wadley.
Is it?
No, there's Wadley. So
there's Wadley.
Well, then it has to be Justin Lotus, who can and will be. Should and has to be.
It's car number 3 in 15th place.
David
Yes,
Farrell.
it is. David Farrell. Here we go, cameraman. All sorted.
Yo. Our cameraman Tim is terrible.
Okay, so let's have a look at our leader, because he will be coming in very shortly. Muad Musa needs to pit, and almost an entire minute up the road from Chris Heineke, who is still hanging on to a good second with Ruan Heineke 4 seconds back.
So far it is the Heineke brothers in 2nd and 3rd, understanding that Sanjan. So Isham, see, I wasn't far off, eh?
No.
So Sanjan is in 7th place.
Yes.
Isham is 5.7 seconds behind.
Back in
But then
8th.
the gap to Andre is another 8 seconds.
But Andre's ahead of them in 5th place.
Correct.
Right.
So from where Isham was, I said it's about 10 seconds. I was
Etienne
out by
went
2 seconds. So Etienne, is that pit stop there for him? Yes, it is.
Yep.
So that will now free up. My gosh.
Guys, you know the car coming out the pit lane owns that part of the track. So, wow, I think St. John, he must have seen him. He just went super close, but that's very risky considering the position St. John's racing for. Oh, Renault Roberts got collision with Van der Heever by the looks of things.
So there's Renault Roberts there.
Yeah, I think that's Rob Van der Heever just behind him.
Oh, Van der Heever is further down. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, they must have had it coming together on the main straight.
It looked like Rob wasn't going to slow down, but apparently...
I saw.
Apologies, Rob. You did manage to get that slowed down. So I just want to say, how's it to Rahane? He actually joined us on our Monday night.
Wicked.
Code Coconuts, or What the Coconut Race, and saw what we're racing again this evening and joined us. So welcome.
How do you say that? Is it Omari?
We're going to have
Omar
to
G?
We're going to have to find out.
Good.
Oh, there we go. Isham Domingo on the inside of Frankie Beckers through turn number 8. And your big battle here with 17 as reruns a little bit wide. David Farrell going wide and just opening the door there for Rahane, and through he goes.
Guys are having good races, man. Excellent stuff here.
So Isham now on the inside of David. David just giving him that space. So let's see, BMW versus BMW as they head towards the last corner. And in the wet, oh, this car just seems like it's just crawling through that corner.
It was only the other day I was going to work on my bike and I went past a road going M4, and I've only then realized how massive this car is.
Yes, it is quite large.
It's like the first time I saw a Nissan GTR. It was like, holy cow, it's an absolute tank, yet they raced in the GT series. You know, like the Bentley. You compare it to the Porsche and the Ferrari, which are these low-slung, small little cars. But this M4 is a massive, massive car.
The thing is, if you put the M4 next to the M6, the M6 is even bigger.
No, I think the M4 is bigger than the M6.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, I'm gonna go measure up, and then I'll feed back to everybody next week.
Oh, good.
But just look at this little battle that David's now found himself behind the BMW. They were just about side by side through turns 6 and 7. But that BMW has got legs on it, man. Wow.
Yes. It's going well. But even here, you can see from the profile pic, the Ferrari looks tiny in comparison behind it. Having a look up the inside, but I don't think he's close enough. And Omari just goes round the long right-hander, takes his, closes the door and holds his position. In the background, we can see the Porsche also coming round and holding on to his position. But I think he's a lap down from David Farrell. That's Jean-André Bierkes' Porsche, by the way.
Yeah. We have done a little close-up on that. So, as I say, Chris Heineke dropping down the order from Jason, but that's because he is currently in the pits.
There we go.
Where does this slot him out in comparison to Andres Serodio? Andres Serodio now start-finish line.
Watch how close this is.
There's Chris.
Oh,
holy cow, it's so close.
He's right there.
Now, Isham Domingo. Okay, so he's
Chris is ahead of Isham. He's going to be good.
But now Sanjan is really bringing the fight here to him. Is he going to be on the inside? Will there be... Just closes that door on the way in. And Isham had every right to do that.
He did.
Sanjan wasn't next to him. He didn't have to give up that space and just squeeze that car towards the apex. So nothing wrong there.
Some great awareness being shown by the leading drivers. They can see where the guys are. But yeah, doors being closed fiercely in front of in front of the attacking driver, and as you say, they have every right to do it. Tinus Boete here for the hybrid team, bombing down the Mistral Straight in the hybrid McLaren, and he's sitting in 22nd place, a good couple of seconds back from the field. Huge spread of field, as you can see the dots on the track map all the way around the circuit. There's no condensation. There's no condensing of racing cars in one area, but we do have quite close gaps still from 3rd, 4th, 5th, I think, and they're all about to come into the pits as well.
So David having a almighty battle here with Rahane. Oh, Frankie, that was a little bit tight there. I wonder whether that rear just let go a little bit as the BMW goes wide, and David trying to slot it up on the inside, but just not close enough to put in an overtake. So, Ruan Heineke is now up into second. He still needs to pit, as well as Jason and Mohat. So,
yes,
where we're currently sitting is Andres Rodeo is in 4th place. Chris Heineke just behind him. There he is in 5th, and there is 6 seconds between them.
Good, nice and close. Andres Heredia also holding the fastest lap flag there, as we can see.
He's just put his last lap was his fastest lap. He's just done a 2:03.7.
Wow.
And there's for those of you, there, 2:03.7.
I'm not going to say that I can actually see if there's a very developed dry line. Oh, wow. Did you see that?
You obviously saw that we had changed the camera on him, and that was for the cameras.
That was all show and putting for dough. So having fun out there in the big M4. But, wow, I mean, from the back of the grid, this was a back-to-front drive. Let's see how far we can get. Muad Musa still got a pit, but we can see he will come out ahead of him. He is almost 80 seconds ahead of his teammate based thumb-sucking on these gaps. So Muad Musa's got this wrapped unless he gets a drive-through. But it's all going off behind him with Chris, Ruan, Jason Lundberg, and we've got contact here with Flip van Zyl in 10th place. And Matsi Vadonda in the green McLaren. They had a little coming together.
Oh.
Driving
that. Correct. But yeah, it looks like. Well, let's see what happens at the end of the straight.
Yeah.
Because Matsi van Dondo is down in 26th place, and Flip van Zyl is currently in 10th place.
10th, yeah.
But he hasn't pitted, unfortunately. Marco Zadenote in 11th. Still up 6th from where he qualified. And you can see getting a little bit sideways there for himself. So, having fun out there. Marius Bontma is now coming to the pits. He is currently in 9th place. But this looks like he is going to drop down the order slightly.
That other car's been sitting there for a while. Is that a retirement, or is there somebody we haven't seen?
That's Sean Lorero, yes. So
he did retire.
Currently in retirement. But there is Jason Farmer right at the end of the pit lane who is in pits as well.
That Porsche also didn't stop. It's a drive-through.
Morrisport, you are 100% correct. That was a drive-through. So he has already done a stop.
Okay.
As Morris, so that was a drive-through for him.
That's bad luck. I've got to say, I'm not surprised that there aren't a lot more. Although we've seen a good couple of them with the conditions as they are and the speed these guys are all racing at each other. Slight off track, say you get drive-through track cuts quickly. And you only need 3 of them to get a drive-through. So we've seen at least 5 or 6 of them handed out tonight.
And it's of people that you wouldn't really expect. Oh, Frankie getting that.
Frankie.
That Porsche is not happy on the rear there. Frankie getting out of the way, Frankie. There we go.
Gosh.
Safe
you
as
gotta
houses.
Look at the
We have
radar,
nothing to
buddy.
worry about.
Oh, you think so? Okay. I don't think Andres the radio felt the same.
Oh, goodness.
His nose must have been... I feel blood.
Oh,
So
there we go.
Andres our net leader, eh?
Sean Herrera is saying good old frog foot disconnect. So it seems like the guys that are on the frog foot are all not having a good time because it's
rubbish. Let me add some, put some flame to this fire, Sean. I just got it was over the top for me last week. I'd had enough of them. However, I've got lucky enough. We had Octatel pull into our neighborhood, and it took me the best part of a week. I had it in notice. I said I want Octatel installed. They arrived on Friday evening, installed, line in on. I turned the frogfoot line off, and I'm never going to put up with their dramas again.
Sure.
So if you can, I'd suggest my great move, get another ISP involved, because frogfoot are just getting worse and worse.
So
Marco Bezuidenhout
on the back of Flip Van Sale is going to be a late dive to the inside, possibly.
He's good on the brakes.
Managed to get that done.
And Matsi Badondo just up ahead of them, so he's going to be seeing all of this happen for position. So hopefully he doesn't get too involved, although he's right in the middle of the racing line, but he's got to be a lap down at least. And the Lexus going up the inside, a little bit of side-on-side contact possibly. Yes.
Yeah, that looked like there definitely was contact there.
Van Sale lifting and getting out of it, and that's allowed Waderly to come through in the Ferrari as well.
So that little courtesy pass has cost Flip two places, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sean saying on the YouTube, yeah, in PE, not as many choices. Sorry, buddy.
From 5th to last.
Oh, terrible, man. Well, keep your eyes and ears open. You never know what happens in the neighborhoods. I think if you make enough noise, and the neighborhoods make enough noise with another ISP, you can get somebody to come and trench in and put in another fiber line. I was stuck with Frogfoot for like 2 years, and Octatel walked in here about 2 months ago. It was game over. I'm moving. Right, Flip Van Sale is all right. We're back again here with Omari in these M4. No.
Sean, they'll say that the 3G is probably a better choice, or
I don't
dial-up.
think so. No. You want to put a Telkom copper line back in there, buddy?
Sure.
No.
So Rob van der Heever starting to get a little bit of pressure from the BMW behind him, and that's because Rob is chasing David Farrell.
Yes.
David has had 2 pit stops.
Ooh. Gee, just up ahead. Who was that? It was, I think it was Waderly in the Ferrari. He was sideways as he went onto the straight. But I can tell you, we're sub 10 minutes to go. So Chris, the likes of Chris and Ruan and Moort are clearly doing a splash and dash. They ran full tanks, and they're just going to be coming in for an absolute splash and dash in the last 10 minutes here.
Well, there we go. That's Ruan Heineke. You could see in the background there, that was Jason Landsberg coming out of the last corner now. So does he go into the pits yet? No. So that means that he will take that position away from the man currently in pits. Here comes Andres Rodeo around the last corner, so he has already pitted.
Moord Musa hasn't pitted yet.
Mohat has not.
Right.
But the man now coming around the back corner is brother Chris Heineke, and Ruan is on the move. And it looks like they are going to be coming out, because there's Chris, there's Ruan. Is Ruan going to be able to hold on? He doesn't. Chris still has that momentum into the first corner, and Chris moves himself back, I'll say, into 3rd place, but it is actually into fourth place, but Jason Landsberg has to pit.
Yes.
So that's still going to be an interesting development. But Andres Serodio is now the highest pitted driver with a drive-through.
Yep. I was standing at the end of the pit lane there quickly. I ran down to go and look, and as Ruan came out, I heard, how's it put? Go past as the Porsche went past.
I'm sure it wasn't just that. It was probably some sort of hand gesture out the window as well.
Yeah, because a couple of fingers maybe or something, you know.
Yeah,
right.
8
minutes and counting. Moort still got to bring the car in, as does Jason Landsberg. I think everyone else has pitted. That's important to know. So we're going to be watching for first and second place now. Nkulu, here he is in the big Mercedes. He had a mare of a first lap. I remember seeing him getting involved in a whole lot of drama. But he's in 17th place. Where did he start from, Dylan?
So he's down 11. So he was...
oh, shame. That's right.
6th place. So very, very bad start. There was contact for him into the first lap.
Good recovery.
So all the way down to last and fighting his way back up into 17th. And there is the battle for the last podium spot.
Ron Heineke in the Ferrari.
Against brother Chris Heineke in the Porsche. So, there we go. Jason Landsberg now into the pits. So, it's actually quite liked how that works.
He's just leaving, actually. He hasn't done a repair on the paintwork, on the bodywork. I saw him come back over the blue line. So, unless he went in a little bit hot, but I think he's done. I think his pit's over. It is.
Yeah, because
so he's rolling.
Yeah, Rowan Heineke and Chris have gone past. What's happened here? I had Jason Landsberg contact with Etienne. That doesn't make sense. Oh, unless it was the slower car, so just probably a slower exit. The man that still needs to pit is Mohat Musa.
Yes.
6 minutes left to go.
He is 1.5 minutes up the road from Andres Serodio so far ahead. He's almost lapped the entire field.
He's only got 2 laps to pit. So it's this lap or the next lap. And then that's it. Looks like it's starting to rain a little bit harder again. So he could put on a set of tires and he could still come out in first place.
Easily. Yeah. He has to pit, as you say, in the next 2 laps. He's on the Mistral straight, so he's going up the back straight. He's got the second and third sectors to finish to get back onto the main straight, and we'll see if he peels in. But besides that, Andres Serodio in second place, Chris Heineke in third place, and then pretty close for fourth, fifth. Matthew Wadeley, 3.6 seconds, and then I think it's Flip van Zyl.
That is correct. Cliff van Zyl in 12th place, but here's a little battle starting to
here it is. Yes,
up, and that's Isham Domingo versus Ruhan Heineke.
Yeah, they're sub-second apart, so Isham pushing hard and trying to close in on the other Heineke brother in the Ferrari.
If things go according to Isham, and Chris, dare I say, makes a mistake, that could this be a Project Vapor 1, 2, and 3?
It could be.
Oh, look at that. Isham has just put in the fastest purple sector in sector 3.
He's up the inside. He's into T1 up the inside, and he sails past Ruan Heineke, I'm sorry. So there we go. He goes up into fourth place. Mohat Musa leaders in the pit.
And I was just about to say, just making sure that he has stopped and it's not going to be a drive-through.
It's a full-on genuine pit, but it doesn't matter. We know you saw Andre and Chris and everybody going through T1, T2 and T3. He's literally a lap ahead of the whole field, so it doesn't matter about Mohat. But let's watch what happens with Chris, Isham and Rowan Heineke, because that's we 3 minutes away from the end of this race. So here we go.
And Isham is 2.6 seconds behind Chris Heineke, who is a further 12 seconds behind Andres Serodio.
So the question, can this BMW close up 2.5 seconds in the next 3 minutes? Is Isham that fast? I don't know. I've got to say, it looks like it's raining less, to be honest.
So just to put things
cameras.
to answer your question, the last lap that Chris Heineke did was a 2:03.8.
Okay.
Isham Domingo did a 2:02.5, and that was his fastest lap of the
That's
race.
1.3 seconds quicker.
That is correct.
So 2 of those, and he's going to be.
You'll be right on the back of
He'll
Chris.
be right there. Yep.
And
Okay.
2 laps is what we've got left.
Left. Let's
So
see.
it was a little splash and dash there for Mahat Busa. 7.8 seconds was his stationary time. And this is where things start getting a little bit interesting, because Andres Arodio, so travel time is about the same, but stopped for 16.6. Chris Heineke stopped for 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Isham stopped for 36 seconds. It looks like he put some tires on there and had a little bit of damage. Ruan stopped for 6.2. Sanjan 14.2. Jason 5.7. Renault 21.8.
It's the different fuel loads.
It's all the different fuel loads. So
Yeah.
interesting to see.
Right. Watching Isham as he goes into down at the bottom of the track. Turn 3, 4, 5, the technical section through sector 1. And the gap is 1.8 seconds off the back of Chris Heineke's Porsche. You can see Chris Heineke just up ahead of him with 2 laps to go. This is not over, Dylan.
And if I look at where Mohat is, he is going to start the lap. So this will be his last lap. So all that Isham has is the current lap that he is on plus 1 more.
He doesn't need any more. There's the Porsche.
So that gap is closing dramatically. He got 0.3 of a second coming out of turn 7.
Drive through for Chris? Sean Herrera is saying a drive through for Chris.
Unless Sean is in their Discord and hearing a whole bunch of coconut words being spoken there.
Or have we? Well, we don't see the drive through, so we'll know if Chris comes into the pits now. So let's wait to see. But he's right on him. I mean, this is going to be done in the next couple of corners, never mind a lap.
But what that's going to do is it's going to drop Chris Heineke down into the clutches of Rainer Roberts, down in 8th place.
Yeah, Sean's saying we're not seeing all the drive-throughs. Is Chris peeling off? He's not. Sean, what are you saying here, man? Are you giving us porkies, or is this for real? Either way, we're going to see this BMW go sailing past. It'll be done. They now must be on the last lap.
Yeah, well, Mohat Busa is going in through turn number 9.
Sean saying this is real. Chris is a drive-through.
But now,
I don't know.
he's going to get additional time added if he doesn't take that duel.
Oh, he
He
ran
almost
deep
didn't
there.
get that done.
And there he's letting go. So he's given up the ghost. So that's it. Project Vapor, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
That's amazing. Considering the one started at the front and the other 2 right at the back. Gee. No, we saw the DTs. I mean, we understood there were guys getting DTs because they weren't stopping, but it just doesn't show on this tower grid, Sean. So that's why. But you saying Chris has one, and we don't know if he's got one or not.
So
Why is this car going so slowly?
Because
now?
Mohat
He's finished.
Busa has crossed the line, led from start to finish,
There we
and
go.
has crossed the line absolutely victorious. Andres Arodio, an absolute cracker drive there for him as well. Started about 6 cars from the back.
Yeah, 29th or something, 27th, I think.
Absolutely pulled it all together, kept that BMW nice and out of all the trouble, and he's moved himself to 2nd place. So a big points haul here for the Project Vapor team.
Very. Gabriel DeSantis saying we love to see the 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I'm sure you do, Gabriel. So there we go. So 2nd place there for Andres Rodeo is Sean Domingo.
Isham Domingo into 3rd.
So that is
Great drive.
from last
Sure.
all the way to third place. Chris Heineke, he is now going to cross the line there in fourth. So we'll just have to see what happens with that time penalty. Ruan Heineke, fifth for him. Sanjan Pillay, he's going to come home in sixth, with Jason Landsberg in seventh. Rainer Roberts, difficult race there for him, but I'm pretty sure he could be happy with that position. Eighth place there for him. A net gain of 0, so started 8th, finished 8th. Morris Botma up 2 from where he qualified. A 9th there for him. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Then Mark Bezuidenhout in the Lexus, 10th there for him.
Yep.
I'm sure he is absolutely over the moon with that result. Matthew Adeli in 11th, Etienne Maton in 12th, Justin Lotus 13. Let me just get rid of that. So no, there we go. Justin Lotus in 13.
There's the 30 seconds added onto Chris's time, so that puts him to net 8th, and it promotes Ruan Heineke to 4th.
Oh, there you go. You are 100% correct there. Then Justin Lotus 13, Flip van Sale 14, Rob van der Heerwe 15. 16th place is Manfira.
Wow.
17.
Look at all the penalties.
30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
There's 130 for Matsi Vadonda. I don't know what he did, but jeepers, that's a lot. And Jason Farmer with the DT. Okay, yeah, he retired early. So a lot of people there had some drive-throughs that they didn't complete.
And that's where those big 30 seconds are coming in. Sure.
Yeah.
Then,
where are the Project Vapor guys?
Ati, Lucas 19th, Rahane 20th, Tinnis 21. Looks like everyone's bounced. Jean-Ray Beckers 22, Ulrich de Jager 23, Charles Darden 24, Jabulani Madzivandondo in 25, Stephen Smith 26, and John Lura still in the pits. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Great, exciting race to have been part of. Really enjoyed that. Guys having a torrid time in the opening laps. Cars across the main straight, cars across the back straight, cars left and right. It was a torrential start for everybody. But as they say, the cream rises to the top, and there we saw the Project Vapor guys from the back to the front, no problemo.
So let's just get our top 3 into the Discord.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Dylan, you there?
Yes, I am. Just drop the message. Guys, we'll be back with those interviews shortly. Talk about action, talk about drama, talk about weather. Holy coconuts is all I'm going to say. Let's go straight to you, Isham. You were the last car on the left of the grid, yet you find yourself fighting the Heineken brothers for fourth, then third, and a podium for you all the way from the back of the grid. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that result.
I'm honestly shocked and shooked. I thought it was over. As soon as I invalidated my quali lap, I thought I'm here at the back. I know it's raining. I'm probably going to get in an accident here on the track, and this is over for me. I'm going to try next week. And as soon as the race started, I started picking up places. And then obviously my heart sank on the straight, the back straight, when Omaji, I think he hit a puddle and then he hit into me and we went spinning on the back straight. My heart sank, man. The boys were pushing me and motivating me to keep on going, and I'm so glad that they did, because I mean, look at this result. I'm freaking ecstatic.
Absolutely amazing. And look, we know we've run quite a few scenarios in terms of the server, but wet practice, wet qualifying, wet race, that's not something that's happened. It's normally one of them. So I'm pretty sure that kind of caught everybody unprepared to have so much rain.
100%. I was expecting a dry start, maybe dry quali, and then dry start in the race, and then we transition into the rain, something like that. But obviously that did not happen. So I was not prepared, to say the least, on that one lap quali. Overshot one of the hairpins, and that was my lap, man. I just knew I had to fight hard in the race.
I mean, Isham, if anybody came up to you and said, you're starting from 31st, but you're going to finish on the podium, would you believe them?
36th. I would say you're talking a whole lot of bull. Excuse the pun.
Capital coconuts.
Yeah, exactly,
mega drive, man.
Absolutely
insane, man. I'm
fantastic.
sweating, That was insane.
Let's go to you, Andre. Second place for you. Interesting start there for you, and then we thought, you're going to go and do a pit stop. Meanwhile, it was a little drive-through, but still came out in second place.
Yeah. It was a mad race, I will tell you this, man. Like, from first lap, just seeing everything happen, it's like being Moses when he was parting the Red Sea, man. It was just, everyone was just parting ways, two sides, man. It was ridiculous.
Because you also had a crazy drive. I think you were about the 6th from the back, but also cutting your way through the field.
Let me quickly check. I think I was 28th. Yeah, 28th. So I started 28th, and then after the first lap, I was 8th. I did not know what was happening. But I was very, very grateful for just making it. It was just spray, and you had to go a lot off of instinct. But I'll tell you this, man. When it comes to races like this where there's just action, it's not even about overtaking people through pit strategies and stuff. It's literally overtaking people on track, and there's just fights left, right, and center, and it was just perfection, man.
We actually had a shot, and I think it was about 27 minutes to go. We had yourself in second, down to 8th in the same shot.
Yeah.
It was mental, man. It was really, really mental. I don't know, man. From my side, just the car felt so alive. The setup, it was just perfect. I think maybe the braking towards the end of the stint was really bad. But because I kind of spun around and I had to quickly recover that. But you could not brake as late as you wanted to, and I was trying to be as cautious as I could.
There's no way you were being cautious. You had the purple flag. You had the quickest lap time. That's not being cautious, Andre.
No, I was hoping to get another purple, and then I was a little bit blocked on the last lap. But I was trying to be a little bit more cautious than I was usually running.
Nice.
So
Just because it's
Mega.
wet.
oh, it's beautiful, man. I love weights. I even said at the start of the race, and look, the only way we can I can salvage this is through weights. There is no other chance in dries. I was useless in the dries, so I'm really, really glad it rained.
No, absolute mega drive from you as well. Let's go to you, Mohat, the man of the hour. Led from start to finish. Put it on pole position by 0.8 of a second to the second person on the pole, and then just drove away with it. It looked very easy. Exactly. Was that the case?
Well, yeah, it wasn't easy. Let me just put that out there. It was very difficult, especially in these weather conditions. Keeping it on the track is a bit of a mission. But my plan of action was: listen, we're not gonna do what we did last week, so let's put it somewhere on the grid in qualifying, and then we take it from there. Let's just say I was lucky enough that these two, that's also here in the chat with us, that they messed up their qualifying because they were on the bar for this race. And yeah, I'm just glad that they had fun. And my plan for the race was just pull a 10 second to the Ferraris and hold station and hope for the best. But yeah, there was a lot of chaos happening behind me, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?"
What your quali lap, you were a 1.2 seconds clear of the whole field. So
Yeah.
flat out. I mean, there was no being. It was as fast as you could. And then you just drove 10-second gap to the Ferrari. We counted you at 90 seconds after a couple of laps.
Yeah.
You were in a complete different league tonight. So tell me, did you and the team run a dedicated wet setup, or were these hybrid setups, or did you just throw them together quickly, or was this had you pre-planned this originally?
I would say it was more of a hybrid.
Okay.
To be honest, so we were expecting rain. However, yeah, I'm just happy that it went smooth.
It worked well for you guys. The BMWs were absolute in a complete different league.
Yeah,
Well done.
100% agree. So, well, guys, I'm sure you can put the little feather in the cap. Project Vapor 1, 2, and 3. An absolutely fantastic drive. And before we wrap up, guys, thank you very much. Don't forget, the next Saturday, the 4th of May, is the 12 hours of Paul Ricard, hosted by SARCO and NAG. You're going to want to go check out our simracing.gp site. Go get the entry in. 10,000 Rand up for prize, up for prize
Grabs.
pot, up for grabs. Thank you. Is the prize pot? Damn, it's what I was trying to say. And that is the first round of the 4-round series with an additional overall prize fund of an additional 10,000 Rand. So we're definitely trying to make it worth you all. Go check it out. To our sponsors, NAG, who have put up the funds for this season, thank you very much, as well as to our counterparts at MSI Gaming. Thank you very much. We are a dedicated MSI machine, so bringing you our dual stream to YouTube and Facebook. Anything there from you, Alan?
No, yeah, I'm very happy. Congrats and well done to you guys, the Vapor Boys. BMW showed the field what's happening tonight in the rain. Congrats, boys. It was an awesome showing and a united showing of strength from all three of you. So well done.
Guys, just remember before I wrap up, next week, Wednesday, is the public holiday. So there won't be a race. We do have a bye, which allows you to spend some time practicing for the 12-hour. But we'll be back the following Wednesday when we get back to the sprints. And we know how those shake up the points once again. So really looking forward to that. So guys, thank you for tuning in. To all our fans, all the drivers, thank you very much. All we can say is keep practicing, keep driving. And thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Yours.